Virtual reality is still an unpopular medium, even though it is widely known about and sought after. Hello there, I am Alfie, your host for this documentary, and today I wish to share with you the wonder of virtual reality. But first, what is virtual reality? For those who don't know, virtual reality, or VR for short, is a medium of entertainment which usually related to gaming. It is unique in the amount of immersion and freedom that it can give its players. The way VR works is essentially two small screens which are incredibly high resolution, each strapped to the user's eyes. Each of these screens show a slightly different image, like our eyes do in the real world, to create depth perception. This lets the wearer see images in 3D like you would in a 3D movie, but that is just one of the four main parts of VR that make the experience. Without going in depth into the topic, VR lets you walk around and touch the environment. This is done with gyroscopes and cameras, either inside or outside the goggles, that track the player's movement in their area and move them in the world respectively. This lets them walk around and see details on things that they never could have imagined. Imagine a game of Call of Duty. Watching on a screen, you're in a building and you start to get shot at. With some good headphones, you might be able to hear which direction it came from, so you crouch under cover and simply have to poke out with your head only to be shot. But in VR, you start to hear gunshots and have to actually crouch in real life. Then you signal with a hand sign to a team member and start spraying gunfire at the enemy while still crouching behind it, out of view. In VR, you could throw a grenade and actually have to swing your arm. In VR, you could punch an enemy and actually have to punch the air. Or you could try seeing over a wall that's too high by actually jumping in real life. VR is limitless. Today I hope to show you what VR has to offer and why you should consider buying VR instead of a new phone or console. I introduced some new people to VR and allowed them to try it out, see what they think and what information would be useful to someone trying VR for the first time. So let's get right into it. So, where's your opinion on VR?
Well, from what I've seen so far, and from the very small amount I've played, it's definitely an interesting concept. I like how it definitely puts you into the world.
I think it's very creative. Whoever invented the VR, I think it's very creative.
I've always seen VR as a way forward for immersive gaming. With all the recent innovations, all the different types of headsets, like the Oculus, the HTC, and the more recent Valve Index.
I haven't ever owned VR or played any games on a VR. So when I've seen some YouTube videos of people playing them, and I didn't think the quality would be very good for the person who's actually wearing it, because the quality that shows and the fact that there's lots of shaking of the head.
What is your experience with VR?
Well, again, I've only done phone VR so far. At a friend's house, my friend had a VR for a Samsung phone, but I've always been interested in trying VR.
I got one recently. Haven't really used it that much yet, but I've got one.
So you've never used a VR headset like this?
Like this?
Like a proper one?
Like a proper one? Nah, I've never seen nothing like this, but I'm excited for this one.
Our participants were given a selection of some of the most popular games for VR that they could try. Due to the COVID pandemic, all equipment involved was cleaned thoroughly between uses, especially because the equipment comes in contact with face and hands. All participants were screened and tested to make sure we were a COVID-safe environment. If you are planning on sharing your own VR headset, make sure it is thoroughly cleaned and sanitized beforehand. Anytime you plan to play VR, make sure there's enough room for movement to avoid injury or equipment damage.
Enchanté.
You watch Netflix on there? Whoa, what's going on?
Launching you into a game.
I'm feeling it. And this one, but...
No, I'm not. That's not working. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Oh, jeez, okay.
What's going on?
is extremely immersive. I'm very, very certain that things are going to go very, very wrong when I try and play it. Oh wait, hold on. Oh my word, what is this? Whoa, this thing stretches. And it's very inaccurate when you don't hold the other side.
But before we get their opinions, what are the opinions of some of the VR enthusiasts?
Right, so if you want to introduce yourself, we can get started.
Yep, my name's Cuban VR. Over here, this is GAV1. Very nice place to hang out and meet new people. So this is Rec Room. It's basically an online chatting system. You can customize your avatar, go to different places. Community made, so real people are making these, not just AI. But that's just one part of Rec Room. The other part is very much meeting new people. There's a bunch of communities. It's LGBTQ friendly. So it's a lot, to be honest. It's a really nice place. I really like it. Okay, yeah, VR is amazing for, like, if you're trying to say, like, social anxiety, meeting new people is basically a key part of VR. Almost every VR game is meeting new people. It's a main point on the community. The downside of VR, I think personally, is people staying inside a lot. Well, I mean, it's quarantine, but besides quarantine, I mean, people do have to, leave the house ever so often. Some people stay on their VR strapped to the face 24/7. That is not very healthy.
What are some games that you'd recommend?
Sideload Pavlov. It's a really good first-person shooter game. I really recommend it.
Hi, Jacob.
Hello.
Oh my god.
To decompress. Yeah, I definitely was there.
You're sweating a lot.
Okay, so what was your opinion on the headset so far?
The graphics and immersion was so much better than I expected. Especially the fact that you can interact with pretty much anything with this.
I think my face says it all.
Like, especially the tutorial. The tutorial was full of lots of interesting things that were very helpful to help me understand the immersion.
No, it was great. It was a lot more immersive than even I expected it was going to be.
So, do you think you'll be buying one?
If I have the funds, it's definitely on a wish list up here in my head.
With the limited amount of time I had, it was incredibly enjoyable for a first experience. I say it varies from game to game, but depending on how it's handled, there can be issues with things like occasional hand tracking, but that's not a massive issue.
Virtual reality is still an unpopular medium, even though it is widely known about and sought after, mainly due to misconceptions that some people have about VR.
I haven't seen any downsides, to be honest. More like prices, too.
You're in that world, so you could basically do anything you wanted, but you still have the boundaries of that world.
I didn't think the quality would be very good for the person who's actually wearing it.
And there could be a lot of applications VR could possibly be used for, but at the moment, gaming is definitely the main focus for it at the moment.
There are many different videos out there discussing the misconceptions on VR, about price, quality and durability. But most people who aren't that interested in VR don't usually bother to watch them videos, and therefore they miss out on the wonderful experience of VR. Currently, you can get a VR headset that doesn't need a PC and works completely on its own for about £200. One example of this being the Oculus Quest, which is especially cheap and high quality, which is incredible. The fact that you can fit all of these high quality screens, circuits and cameras for less than the price of a PS4, which is a console from 2013. Or, on the topic of games, there are tons of free games out there that are just as high quality as the paid ones, such as Pavlov or Gorilla Tag, which are some of the most common games for the Quest and are entirely free. VR can be compared to the internet. It will either be another fad that will simply die out, or it will become the most used medium in the world. Either way, it is undoubtedly going to make improvements over the years, and if you want to see them improvements happen, it's just a console away.
Hi, I'm Charlie the Chogbot Jockey Plays, and I came home to box. I've opened the box. Another Oculus Quest 2, and I'll have you know, complete Facebook request. You'd better request it. We was doing a thing at college, and Alfie, who made this documentary, was like, hey, I'm going to do a thing. Do you want to be a part of the thing? And I was like, yes. Which way is it? Oh, it's a slidey box. Come on, box. The moment of truth. Ooh, now can I let's include the headset controllers. I am noticing a distinct lack of 2 AA batteries, however. Update, the batteries are in the controllers. My app. Oh, it's on the phone. So yeah, now I realise I've got to charge the thing. Update. You can't see it, but I'm looking at the controllers. They're right there. It's picking them up, so I can put one there. It's just in the game. After putting it on and standing up, it's pretty cool. I finished the setup. Pretty much learning all the controls on the fly. I've set it all up. Seems pretty cool at the moment. I just tried to like adjust my glasses. That's gonna be weird to get used to. But you know what? 10 out of 10. Would recommend.